She didn't write that. Sir, the handwriting matches. She's not capable of that level of reasoning. 14 years old. First row. Perfect score. But when she walked to the front to accept her certificate, they snatched it from her hand. And the man at the podium said, "There's been a mistake." But the mistake wasn't hers. Subscribe and tell us where you're watching us from. Keisha Ellington had always been quiet. Top of her class. Flawless attendance. No missed homework since 3rd grade. She didn't raise her hand to be noticed. She raised it because she knew the answer. Her 8th grade history teacher, Mr. Fulton, once said, "She doesn't just memorize. She understands." So when the state academic decathlon came around, everyone knew she'd be chosen. But no one expected what she did next. The topic was civil infrastructure. She submitted a 3,000-word essay on water policy in post-industrial cities. Annotated, cited, polished. Her mother helped her print it at the library. She triple-checked every page, signed her name in pen. They submitted it with 1 week to spare. 2 weeks later, her school received the results. First place, not district, not county, state. She was invited to the Capitol building in Montgomery. Her name printed in the program. Front row seat. New dress from the clearance rack. Shoes a size too tight, but shiny. Her mom braided her hair with silver thread. "This is your moment, baby. Don't let anyone shrink it." The auditorium buzzed. Cameras rolled. They announced her name. Keisha Ellington. First place. Outstanding essay in policy design. She stood. Walked tall. The room clapped. She reached the stage. And then, he stepped in front of her. A man in a dark blazer. No name badge. Whispered to the announcer. They stopped clapping. He took the certificate from the podium. Looked at it. Looked at her. Then said, "There's been a misattribution. Please return to your seat." The silence was thunderous. Keisha froze. "Excuse me?" The man turned off his mic. "We believe this essay was submitted under incorrect authorship. There's an investigation. But I wrote it. We'll review it. Please step down." Her hands shook. She looked to her teacher. He didn't stand. Didn't speak. She walked back. Alone. To silence. And on the big screen behind her, they removed her name. Slide went black. Just like that, the state's top paper vanished. But Keisha didn't cry. She sat, clenched her fists, and whispered to herself, "I'll prove it word by word." 2 days later, Keisha was pulled from 3rd period. No warning. No explanation. Just a summons slip handed to her by the assistant principal. Central office, 10:30 a.m. Her mother met her in the front office. Eyes wary. Jaw set. "What's going on?" The receptionist wouldn't say. They drove across town in silence. At the district building, a woman in pearls greeted them. "This won't take long. We're just clarifying some confusion." They led Keisha into a small conference room. Inside, her principal, a man from the state assessment board, and a woman holding a printed copy of her essay. The man smiled. "Miss Ellington, thank you for coming." She nodded. "Small. Tight." He tapped the essay. "This is exceptional work. Truly. But we're having trouble confirming authorship. I wrote it. That's the claim. But the language level, citations, structuring, thematic weaving, it exceeds benchmarks for 8th grade." Keisha blinked. "I read a lot." He didn't smile back. "We need to verify your skills align with this writing." She leaned forward. "What does that mean?" The woman in pearls placed a blank sheet in front of her. "We'd like you to write another essay. Now. Same topic. Same prompt." Keisha looked at her mother. "You can do it, baby," she whispered. But Keisha wasn't scared. She was insulted. "Do the other winners have to do this?" The board man hesitated. "This isn't disciplinary. It's just to ensure fairness." "Fairness to who?" He didn't answer. The clock started. She picked up the pen and wrote. 2 pages. Flawless structure. Same argument. New examples. Finished in 41 minutes. They collected the paper. "Thank you, Miss Ellington. We'll review and be in touch." They left. Her mother reached for her hand. "Why do they want to prove what's already in front of them?" Keisha answered softly. "Because they didn't expect it to come from me." The next day, the principal called. Her results? Inconclusive. Their conclusion? She could not be confirmed as sole author. The prize would not be reissued. The score would be archived without attribution. No appeal. No discussion. No name. Just a shadow on a record. Keisha stared at the email, then printed it, and wrote in red ink at the bottom, "If they won't let me belong in their records, I'll start my own." Keisha started with the printer. She still had the receipt from the library, time-stamped, dated, signed. She remembered the printer number, the librarian who helped unjam the tray, the 3-hole punch she used right after. She wrote it all down. Timeline. March 2 to 4:13 p.m., Library Branch Number 6, Terminal 04, Printer 2. Her mother helped her request the usage logs. The branch manager pulled the files. We can't show print contents. Privacy. But here's the job history. It was there. User, guest 04. Job, essay_Keisha_final.pdf. Page count, 9. Time, for 13 and 26 seconds p.m. Her mom asked, "Can we get that on letterhead?" The manager hesitated. "I'm not sure we're supposed to it." Keisha spoke. "You either give me proof I exist, or you help them say I don't." He printed it. One piece of paper. But to her, it was oxygen. Next, she went back to her teacher, Mr. Fulton. She stood outside his class until the bell rang. "Can we talk?" He looked nervous. Of course. They sat. She pulled out the essay draft, the one she'd submitted for early review, 2 weeks before the contest. "You marked this?" "Yes, I remember." "Did I write it?" Pause. "Keisha, I believe you did excellent work, but that's not the question." He sighed. "Look, I think you're brilliant, but they're asking questions I can't control. So you won't say?" He didn't meet her eyes. She left the paper on his desk, walked out. Next stop, the State Board website. She clicked through the contact directory, found the name of the essay coordinator, wrote an email. "I am the student who submitted the winning paper for the infrastructure prompt. I have timestamp proof of authorship and early drafts with teacher feedback. I am requesting the return of my paper and a formal explanation of your authorship determination process." She clicked send. Waited. No reply. The next morning, she checked again. Still nothing. She went back to school. Her locker was open. Inside, someone had written in red marker, "Fake." She didn't cry. She pulled out her notebook and wrote, "If they need me to vanish, they'll have to work harder. I remember everything." The envelope came on Thursday. No return address. No markings. Folded once. Left in her family's mailbox. Inside, a photocopy of a document. Black ink. Official header. Internal review summary. Essay contest. Entry number 4421. She recognized the ID number. It was hers. The lines were typed. Entry scored highest in regional and state-level rubrics. Language assessment flagged for complexity deviation. Entry was reanalyzed without informing author. Conclusion: author identity unverified. Administrative removal recommended. No signature. No date. But it was real. She knew it. They had flagged her for being too good. And instead of asking how, they decided it couldn't be her. Her mom read it twice. "This says they pulled your name before you even had a chance to explain." Keisha nodded. "It means they broke their own rules. They made 3 copies. One in her school binder. One in her mom's drawer. One in the glove box." She scanned it. Emailed it to herself. Sent a blind copy to an account with no name. Then she printed one more and wrote on it, "Exhibit a unauthorized reassessment without author notification." She placed it in a new folder labeled Truth Archive. At school, she said nothing. Let them stare. Let them whisper. She wasn't fighting for their acceptance. She was preparing for war on paper. In third period, Mr. Fulton pulled her aside. "You're not in trouble. But some people are asking why you're pushing this so hard." She looked at him flat. "Because they erased me." He lowered his voice. "You've made your point. Don't make yourself a problem." She didn't answer. She just walked out of class and headed to the office. Requested a meeting with the district academic director. Receptionist blinked. "You want to speak to Dr. Hayward directly?" "Yes." "About what?" "About misconduct." She was told there was a wait list. She added her name anyway. Then she went home. Opened her laptop. Typed. "When you're punished for writing too well, it's not about grammar. It's about power." She saved it as opening statement, "If they ever let me speak." They didn't let her meet with Dr. Hayward. "He's unavailable," the secretary repeated. "For how long?" "Indefinitely." So Keisha adapted. She created her own audience. A Google Drive folder titled Keisha Ellington Authorship Case. Inside, essay draft with teacher comments. Library print record. Internal review leak. Timeline of contest steps. Email log showing unanswered messages. She labeled it by section. Exhibits. Timeline. Correspondence. Statements. Her mom added a scanned affidavit. I, Marlene Ellington, witnessed my daughter write and finalize this document with no outside input. Keisha uploaded it all, then shared the link with one person, a journalism student at the local community college. His sister went to Keisha's school. He'd heard the story in whispers. His reply came fast. This is solid. If you're okay with it, I'll write a feature. She replied, write it. But make sure the receipts lead the story, not me. At school, whispers turned into rumors. She's suing. She hacked the board. She forged something. She ignored them. In biology, she opened her notebook. Added, when they can't prove you're lying, they try to prove you're unstable. After school, her mom said, the journalist editor wants a statement from you. Keisha nodded. She wrote one sentence. My name was removed from my own work without process, without notice, and without proof. That weekend, the article dropped. Online only. No photos. No drama. Just facts. Headline. When excellence becomes suspicion, the Keisha Ellington case. It listed her evidence. Quoted the essay. Compared language samples. It didn't ask, did she write it? It asked, why didn't they believe she could? By Monday, the school had a meeting. Closed doors. No students. Teachers told not to discuss ongoing controversies. Keisha sat in the library, watching as truth made them uncomfortable, and wrote, they want me silent until I forget how to speak this clearly. I won't forget. Then added, and I won't let them forget either. The word appeared quietly. In her student file. In a box marked Administrative Notes. Flag. Behavioral monitoring. Disruption risk. She found out from the guidance counselor. A slip of the tongue. It's probably automatic. No big deal. Just procedural. I haven't done anything wrong, Keisha said. You've made a lot of noise. That was the answer. Noise. At home, her mom got a call from work. Hospital administration. We've received a few inquiries about your daughter's situation. We're not concerned, just monitoring optics. Optics. Her mother stayed calm, but her voice shook when she hung up. They're reaching. Keisha nodded. Let them reach. I've got more. She updated her archive. New tab. Retaliation indicators. School reassigning her locker. Meeting invitations revoked. Teachers forgetting to return her papers. Then came the mandatory wellness meeting. They said it was protocol. A school psychologist. Clipboard. Gentle voice. We just want to check in. Make sure you're not under too much pressure. Keisha didn't flinch. I'm fine. This kind of attention can be stressful. Only when people pretend I imagined it. The psychologist leaned in. Some people are saying you're obsessed. That you're not letting go. Keisha answered clearly. If they took something from you that you built with your own mind, would you let it go? She didn't wait for a response. Afterward, she wrote. They called me a disruption because I kept asking for what was mine. They called me a threat because I wrote better than they expected me to. Then, let them keep writing notes. I'm writing history. The journalist followed up. His article had been shared 4,000 times. Small outlets picked it up. No media frenzy. No fame. But attention. Enough to make people nervous. That night, Keisha found her essay online. Posted under a fake profile. Different name. Same content. No credit. She screen captured everything. Then said, they're still trying to bury me. Her mother answered. Then we'll become impossible to bury. Keisha walked into the campus of the nearby university alone. She'd made an appointment with the Department of Linguistics. The grad student waiting for her wasn't much older. You're the essay girl, right? She nodded. I need you to compare two texts. She handed him two documents. 1. Her original printed draft. 2. The version posted online under someone else's name. He looked at her. This could take a while. I've waited long enough. 3 days later, he emailed her. Significant lexical match. Approximately 93% overlap. Syntax, vocabulary, and semantic structuring indicate same author. I'll attach the report. She opened the PDF. Detailed. Technical. Objective. She read every word. Then printed it. Filed it in her archive under authorship confirmation, third-party analysis. Next step. She submitted the report to the State Education Board. Subject line. Unauthorized use of student work, confirmed evidence attached. She CC'd the journalist, the school district, the librarian, her principal. No room for denial. The response came 2 days later. Brief. Cold. Thank you. Your submission will be reviewed. No further inquiries at this time. But something shifted. Her name was no longer absent from emails. It was back, but cautious. Controlled. Teachers stopped ignoring her. The monitoring note vanished from her file. Still no apology. Still no reissued award. But the silence became fragile. That week, her mom was stopped in the grocery store. I saw the piece. Your girl's brave. She smiled. My girl's exact. Keisha returned to school Monday with a folder in her arms. She asked to see the principal. Waited 43 minutes. Then walked in. Sat down. Opened the folder. You can keep trying to make this go away. She slid the report across the desk. Or you can fix it before it becomes bigger than all of us. He didn't speak. Just looked at the page. Keisha stood. I won't vanish. I won't fail. And I won't let you erase me because you didn't see me coming. She left before he answered. That night, she wrote. They made me prove my mind exists. So I made it undeniable. The letter came on Thursday. Stamped. Sealed. Delivered to her homeroom by the vice principal himself. You are hereby requested to appear before the Academic Integrity Committee. Allegation. Improper release of internal communications and materials involving student assessment processes. Her mother read it twice. They're not fixing what they broke. They're punishing you for showing the cracks. Keisha didn't flinch. Then I'll bring the whole blueprint. The hearing was set for the following week. Closed doors. No legal representation. No recording allowed. She prepared anyway. She organized her archive into 2 binders. 1. Authorship proof. 2. Procedural violations. She dressed in black. No jewelry. No emotion. The committee sat behind one table. 3 staff. 2 board reps. 1 legal observer. The chair began. Miss Ellington, you've been called due to concerns about your handling of sensitive content. She opened her folder. You mean my own essay? He cleared his throat. Including teacher comments, internal summaries, and communication with press. None of which were confidential. None of which violate policy. And all of which document a real event that your system tried to bury. One member spoke up. We're not debating your experience. We're discussing your actions. She looked at him directly. My action was survival. She placed the authorship report on the table. This is science. This is structure. This is what you tried to erase. Silence. The legal observer whispered to the chair. He nodded. We'll deliberate. You'll receive written notice within 5 school days. Keisha stood. You already wrote me off once. This time, I'm watching. Outside, her mom waited. No words. Just a hug. The next morning, her locker had a sticky note. Keep fighting. No name. She added it to her archive. Filed under. Resistance. Evidence they're still watching. Later that day, she opened her notebook. Wrote. They're calling exposure a violation. But the real violation was silence. And then, if this is what it costs to be heard, I'll pay in full. The letter arrived on Monday. Plain envelope. Generic header. The Academic Integrity Committee has completed its review. Verdict. No formal disciplinary action will be taken. However, we encourage discretion in future public commentary to maintain institutional trust. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just a warning disguised as mercy. Her mother read it. So they're saying, you're right, but be quiet. Keisha nodded. I won't be. She uploaded the full archive to a public drive. Removed the password. Linked every section. Cross-referenced with public timelines. She created a summary. This archive contains verifiable documentation of educational erasure, authorship theft, and institutional silence surrounding a Black student's achievement. At the bottom, she wrote, use it, teach it, share it, cite it. Then she shared the link with every teacher who ever told her to speak clearly. With every student who'd whispered, you make us brave. She wasn't looking for redemption. She was writing permanence. At school, her teachers no longer called on her with hesitation. Her name returned to announcements. One counselor asked to feature her story for a student advocacy newsletter. She declined. I'm not an inspiration. I'm a record. That weekend, her mom received a call from an educator in New York. We saw the archive. Can we invite Keisha to speak remotely? To talk about authorship and bias? Her mom asked her. She answered without pause. Yes, but not as a victim. She prepared a keynote, not a speech. A walkthrough. She called it. What was taken, and how I took it back. She rehearsed twice. Wore her hair natural. No makeup, No edits. She clicked Join Meeting. 37 faces blinked into view. Students, teachers, one lawyer, all watching. She began. My name is Keisha Ellington. I was 14 when my essay was taken from me. I was 15 when I got it back. Not because they returned it, but because I never stopped proving it was mine. They listened. She spoke for 13 minutes. Not loud, just undeniable. Months passed. The award was never returned. Her name was never reannounced. The essay never restored to its rightful place. But it didn't matter anymore. Because the archive lived. The truth circulated. And Keisha was no longer invisible. One afternoon, her English teacher handed her a sealed envelope. This came from the district. I thought you'd want to see it. She opened it. Inside, a plain letter. No signature. Your file has been reviewed. The monitoring note has been removed. Your academic record reflects full standing. No apology. No mention of the essay. Just quiet reversal. She folded the letter. Didn't smile. She just added it to the last page of her archive. Filed under. Belated corrections, no credit issued. Her final entry read. They took the award, but not the work. They questioned my mind, but not its logic. They erased my name, but left a trail of facts I never let go. She zipped the file, uploaded it to an open repository. Then she emailed one line to a network of student advocates. My name is Keisha Ellington. This is how you protect your voice when no one else will. By summer, 5 schools had added her story to their curriculum. By fall, she was invited to consult on student authorship policy. Still no cameras. No headlines. Just legacy. Her mother printed the entire archive, bound it in a red binder, labeled it with gold letters. Proof. And when a new student in her district faced something eerily familiar, the counselor whispered, "There's someone you should read about." They handed them a link. The same one that began. If you're reading this, you were never alone. That night, Keisha sat by the window, notebook in lap. She wrote. It started with a paper, but it ended with something they couldn't take back. Then she closed the book, not because it was over, but because now. She had written the ending herself. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire action and hope.